What's going on, guys? It's QuizyDog here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an unboxing and a first impression of the Fifine K658 microphone. Now, Fifine made waves and kind of made a name for themselves as being a fantastic budget-oriented microphone for those of you who are looking at getting into YouTube, wanted it to complement gaming or streaming, or even wanted to podcast. So did they improve on their award-winning formula when it comes to the end consumer with this one here, the K658? Let's take a look right after a word from today's video sponsor. Did you guys know that April is actually a very important month for over 90% of you guys watching today's video? Now, this isn't an April Fool's joke, and this is not brought to you today by the Easter Bunny, although your Easter eggs are in fact the topic of today's discussion. I've teamed up with Manscaped and the Testicular Cancer Society to let you guys know that April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Now, testicular cancer is actually the most common cancer found in men between the ages of 15 and 35, and in fact, it's so common that there's one new diagnosis every single hour of every single day of every single month. Early detection is extremely important, and that's why self-screening should become part of your everyday routine. So whether or not you're grooming up with the Lawnmower 4.0 with its patented skin-safe technology, or you're giving yourself a little bit of a top-up and a refresh with the brand new crop mop, while you're down there, go ahead and do a self-examination to make sure everything's okay. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn more about self-assessments, and while you're there, be sure to use code TCSQuazy for 20% off your order and to help donate to the Testicular Cancer Society. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring today's video. All right, so welcome back, and like I said before, today we're going to be doing that unboxing and first impressions, and shout out to Amazon for the completely inappropriate use of a label to put that right on the outside box. Why they wouldn't ship it in a box or put the label on the back, I'm really not sure, but we really can't see what's on the front of the box. So let's just go ahead and let's get right into it. We've got our little handy dandy utility knife here, no more PCI brackets, no more drywall screws. We have a proper unboxing knife. Crack this bad boy open and let's take a look and see exactly what you get inside of the package. And I have to say, it's super well laid out. I'm gonna show you guys first the little user guide here. I mean, nothing really that special. You guys have seen this before, and it folds out and it's massive. But one thing I like is it's got, wow, that's actually really big. It's got PC instructions, it's got Mac instructions, it's got pictures, it's got English, it's got everything that you would need to get this microphone up and running. So that is already a win in my books. And I know I shouldn't be celebrating paperwork, but I mean, it's the little things, right? It's the little things. So here we have the actual box itself with all of the box contents, super well laid out, and honestly compared to a lot of budget microphones, and I'm gonna continue to say budget because this unit here, the K658, is under $100 when you can find it on sale. And what they give you for under $100 is fantastic. So let's first break into the microphone itself. So here is the actual microphone, very good build quality. So it's all metal, which is super nice to see. In this price point, usually you're introduced to a more so plastic design. So the fact that it's metal is fantastic. You actually have a built-in windscreen here as well. And I'm not sure, oh, the collar just unscrews. So you do have the opportunity, should you want to, for any given reason, to take this windscreen off. There we are there. And then you have the actual capsule shroud itself. So this again is all metal, and I bet you, yeah, this comes off as well. And this is going to introduce us to the microphone hidden underneath. Now, of course, this microphone is going to be what picks up your voice. And between the nice metal mesh to keep it safe and the windscreen, it should keep plosives down. We're going to do a sound test as well because that's probably why most of you guys are here. Now, unlike other microphones in this styling and this pricing category, the actual capsule itself is on the very top. And what this means is that you're going to address the microphone kind of like this, almost like an old microphone that you see performance performers using and things like that with concerts. You're not going to talk into the side. The side is actually still going to pick up, but it's going to cancel out some of that ambient surround sound, and you're going to address this from the top. Now you want to hit it at a slight angle, maybe something like this, because of course, if you're talking like this, you're going to blow the heck out of that capsule. Even with all of this stuff on there, it can only really go so far. So you're going to want to talk a little bit at an angle. And again, I'm going to show you guys all of that as well. So we're going to put this all back together very quickly, very nicely threaded. And again, overall, for under $100 so far without hearing it, very, very impressed with the build quality. Get that all on there. Now here you actually have your front mounted control, which is great. So this has the ability to just single tap to mute. It's not a tactile clicky button. It is just a touch sensitive capacitive button. And then you have your gain dial here. And on the underside, not only do you have that screw mechanism, which we're gonna look at the other accessories that make that work, but you will have your USB-C right there on the bottom, and then you have a headphone jack as well, because this actually allows you to monitor your audio, which again, in this pricing category is not always unheard of, but very, very welcome to see, because it's not something that we always get within this pricing bracket. Now here we have an extra long USB cable. Looking at the ends here, it is USB-C to USB-A. Now I would have liked to see a secondary cable or an adapter for this USB-A to go into USB-C, just because USB-C is becoming a little bit more common. It's certainly common on whatever interface end is on your electronics, but on the reverse side, I mean, we're seeing the rise of MacBooks like there's no tomorrow. In fact, I have my MacBook right here that we're gonna test it on. So it'd be nice to see the USB-C or at least a USB-C adapter, but that's fine. A lot of people are prepared for that stuff if you only have USB-C anyway. Other than that, we have a little threaded collar. We're gonna go over exactly what makes that work. And surprising, these guys here actually give you a nice little shock mount as well. So this is what your microphone is going to sit into. You have your regular threading here. So you could put this on a boom arm, and this is actually how it's recommended to be used, is on a boom arm. But we do have, for those of you who don't have a boom arm, wow, this is actually metal too. Gonna cut down some of that audio because of course that's probably sounding like crap. Fling that away. So we have a nice little microphone stand here as well. And actually really nice. So overall, like so far, first impressions, very, very impressed. So this little guy here, we're gonna kind of put all this together and see exactly what makes that work. And then in here, you do have a threaded adapter as well, should you need that. So we're gonna set all of this stuff aside, and let's go ahead and let's get this guy together. Now, there is a label on here that says this side up, so of course it's this side up. Take that little label off, put that on the box, and this microphone is just gonna go right in there. You're gonna take your locking collar, which is this guy right here, and very simply put, you're just gonna slide that and thread it on the underside. So this guy's in the shock mount. Pretty nice. There's not a lot of give to it, but it should do a very good job of keeping all of that kind of wiggle noise out of there. We're gonna take this guy here, flip it around, and let's go ahead and let's get the tripod mounted, because this is how I'm going to use it, because I don't have a mic arm. There we go. And let's see, is there any play to that? A little bit. So we are gonna have to get that threaded there. So you guys can see that right now in frame, which is great. And I'm gonna make this, just based on my OCD, a little bit more level. This little locking nut, we're gonna back that off a little bit, and good enough. So now we're gonna take this guy, we're going to put the cap in there, flip this upside down, and we're gonna get this plugged in. Excellent. Into a USB-C adapter. Shout out to Samsung years ago for giving us USB-A to USB-C. You saved my life. And we'll get this right into the PC. And here is one of the other shining features. And when I say shining, I mean quite literally. So this microphone actually has an array of RGB. It's not overbearing, it's actually really nice. Let's go ahead and let's actually collapse this. And I'm gonna take this partially off. Disassembly, reassembly, all really quick. Again, shout out to the build quality on this guy. So there we go. So there's some RGB lights on the bottom. So it just gives a nice little splash if you're using this for any sort of commentary or anything where you're gonna be on camera. And let's say you hate it, there's a touch capacitive button. You can just go ahead and turn it off. I don't know if it will cycle through. I'm holding the button, and I bet you if I read the instructions, it would tell me, but it looks like it's just kind of the rainbow cycle, if you will, that traditional RGB. Let's get this guy all back mounted in here. Do-do-do, there we go. And we'll get that collar on here as well. There. Get that situated, screwed in there. And again, I'm gonna say it time and time again. Build quality, fantastic. Even these threads are metal, so they're gonna grab really well. They're not gonna back off, I don't think, like a lot of the plastic style ones that you're gonna see, again, in this pricing category. We'll get these legs extended, and there we go. Now, actually, when I said I wanted that level, I actually want that down because you need to talk right into the top of the capsule here. So here is the microphone in all of its glory. You have that mute button. So very, very easy. Green is live. And then if we touch that again, it's red. That means it's muted. Super, super simple. Again, as before, we have that RGB on the back as well. We're gonna leave that on. We're gonna unmute that. I'm gonna pull out the MacBook and let's take a look at an audio sample quality. All right, so here we are testing this Fifine microphone, and right now I'm about this far away, and this is normally what I do to gauge my distance from my chin to the microphone. We're talking at an off angle. We're trying not to touch the table because even though this shock mount is okay, you're really gonna want to have a boom arm if you're looking at touching your desk, using this as a gaming microphone or anything like that. This is captured raw into GarageBand, and right now I have GarageBand at about I'd say 50% gain. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to go around the microphone here so you guys can see the difference in the pickup pattern, where it actually goes around, and then where it settles in at the top. And again, when it comes to off-angle recording, you don't want to talk like this because you're going to get your plosives and everything a little too close to that capsule. So just at an off angle like this, BBB, PPP, SSS, quick plosive test to see how that sounds. Your mute, we're going to hit that again, and here we are back live after that mute. You have your gain switch here, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to play with that gain just a little bit to see how many differences we can get. And I'm looking at my meters, that's about the sweet spot where we want to be. But overall, this microphone sounds absolutely fantastic. And again, this is with nothing done to that audio source at all. We will rack back and forth, putting a little bit of a broadcast tone on here, deepen the bass, make it seem a little bit richer. And that's normally what I do with my lavalier audio. So let me know if you guys find much of a difference between this microphone, the lav microphone, and then this microphone with or without the settings adjusted, to see whether or not you feel the audio quality is worth the pickup. And TLDR, for me, I definitely think it is, because this microphone, again, links will be in the video description, can be had very affordably. And right now, I'm kind of my traditional animated self. I'm moving around, I'm talking. This is kind of what you would expect if by chance you were gaming with this, if by chance you were doing a podcast with it. And I find a lot of the more in-depth reviews, if you will, when it comes to audio quality. These guys are audio engineers. These guys know exactly how to speak into these microphones. This is just a quick one-off test example unboxing, first impressions. I don't know a lot about audio. I'm learning, but from an audio novice to possibly yourselves being audio novices as well, this is how I'm using it. This is how easy I set it up. I just plugged it in, we're talking into it. So let me know whether or not you think this is a good enough quality microphone with ease of use and sound for you guys to pick up to see if it's worthwhile. I guess we're going to end this video here. We went through the overview, the build quality. I will have peppered into this as well all of the specifications about this microphone, but if you found this video at all helpful or worthwhile, I definitely recommend leaving a like down below, and while you're down there, let me know in the comments what microphone you're using, whether or not you're interested in this microphone, and what your plans are for it. Until my next video, my name is Crazy Dog. You guys have been awesome, and we'll catch you all in my next one. Take care.